Hey, guys, welcome back. And do we have a lot to talk about? Guys, we're back to talk about not the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but the Real Housewives of New Jersey, because now Danielle Staub is coming out years later and saying that she was actually stabbed during filming. I said that right, not stabbed in the back, like, oh, she stabbed me in the back and talked about me, but actually stabbed by one of her co-stars. So we have all the details about that. But before we jump in, don't forget today we have a Vanderpump Rules live on Jason's channel, Down with Jason, at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a subscribers only live, so if you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And then, of course, we're back today for my Kathy Hilton interview premiere at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's going to be about 30 minutes, and I'll be joining you in the live chat. And then, of course, tonight, 6 p.m., we'll have Hot Messy Topics. So we have a lot going on. Stick with us. But as of right now, we're back with the details of everything that Danielle Staub is alleging. You don't want to miss this. Guys, go ahead, smash that like button, get subscribed, and don't forget to hit that notification bell. Let's do this.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys, so it looks like Danielle Staub is making some outlandish claims about her former co-star, Teresa Giudice. Now, we all remember that infamous fight in 2010 where she was chased outside. Jacqueline's daughter, Ashley, yanked her by the hair. She accused Teresa's home of going in foreclosure. I mean, this was a huge blow up. This is one of the most iconic Real Housewives fights ever. And if you remember when this all happened, it was at the Posh Fashion Show. As Real Housewives of New Jersey fans, anyone who watched the show remembers Teresa chased Danielle Staub outside through the country club. And when she did, Jacqueline Larita's daughter, Ashley, yanked her by the hair, and it was a huge thing. She even tried to press charges. And we saw where at the reunion, she brought a mannequin and ripped the hair from the mannequin to show us exactly how severe that was in the first place. Now, the irony behind all of this is she said it was so traumatic for her, but then years later, she ends up pulling Margaret Joseph's hair, yanked on it super hard. We watched it. Everyone was uncomfortable. So how the hell are you going to complain about this woman doing this to you, or this young girl who was 18 at the time? So she's still an adult, but then not learn anything from it, turn around and go do it to someone else. That makes no sense to me. It looks like she learned nothing, but I'm not even focused on that anymore. The infamous hair pull. Now I want to hear more about this. Teresa Giudice stabbed you? What? This is what's being said. It was a setup, Danielle Staub said in Dave Quinn's Real Housewives tell-all book, Life Isn't All Diamonds and Rosé. She added, I didn't even want to go. My kids didn't even want me to go to this. Nobody wanted her to go to the event, and she was saying, I wanted to trust my intuition. I knew something was going to go terribly wrong that night. That's super important for anybody listening, because if you have an intuition, you feel like you shouldn't be going somewhere, you feel like you shouldn't do something, trust that gut feeling, because at the end of the day, no one knows better than you and your own intuition. So really, trust your gut. Let's keep going. Danielle added, little did we know that it would turn into a whole chase, a hair pull, cops being called, a broken heel, 911, and police sirens. She said it was absolute madness. She also added, I didn't know they'd start physically coming after me at all. I should be able to say what I want to say without getting physically accosted for it. She's absolutely right. Nobody should have put their hands on anyone. And normally on the Real Housewives, they used to really take this stuff seriously. And if you did put your hands on somebody, well, you would most likely get fired for it. But as of recently, I mean, since this happened, not as of recently, but since this happened in 2010, we've seen Portia drag Kenya off the reunion floor, then get demoted, then get her spot back, and now get a spinoff. We saw the Monique Candace drama. We've seen a few other altercations happen where it's like, oh, well, what does Bravo really do about it? Does Bravo hold anyone responsible at this point? Or do they just give you a season off and say, well, sorry, you take a season off and then we'll bring you back next time? Because one of the rumors was that Dorinda Medley had to take a pause because she was being too angry and aggressive with some of her cast members, Tinsley Mortimer and, specifically, and she would make them feel uncomfortable. But some of these other people are putting their hands on each other and also stabbing them. Danielle also added that Teresa stabbed her with a fork as the altercation reached a crescendo. She said, Teresa took a fork to my back. I had a fork stabbed in my back and dragged down my back, so I stopped running. Oh my gosh. One of the security guys was holding my arm. I remember saying, let go of me. You're holding me back. This was literally like Jerry Springer on steroids. Like these women were dangerous. It came as a shock to me that I was allowed to be treated this way. So she's saying as she was running, Teresa took a fork out, stabbed her in the back, and grinded it down her back. If this is true, Teresa, I feel like if this were actually true, Teresa would go to jail for this. You can't just take a fork, like pulling her hair is one thing, and then you took Ashley to court, but you didn't take Teresa to court for stabbing you in the back. You fought with everybody during the reunion, and when Teresa was ripping your head off verbally, you didn't mention not one time that she stabbed you in the back with a fork. Bet your ass that Teresa is eventually going to speak out on this. I'm sure she will, and I'm curious what she has to say. But if this actually happened, where are the marks? Where are the scars? And why was it never mentioned? Apparently in the book, Andy Cohen confirms that the altercation between Danielle and Teresa did turn physical, but he also explained that the network decided to cut that final edit, or cut that footage from the final edit. But why? He said, we don't like it when things get physical. We tend to cut away from it. We'll show something that happens, but we kind of do flashes on the screen. It was not in keeping with what we want the Housewives to be. All right, so my biggest question is, if this is true and Andy Cohen knew that something got physical, was it actually a fork stab in the back? And why was Teresa not fired for this? First of all, you can't pull someone by the hair, but then you can't actually physically stab somebody. I have so many questions for you guys. Obviously, we know that the Real Housewives of New Jersey season 12 wrapped filming before the summer, but they got their spot pushed back. They were supposed to premiere in December, and now Orange County is taking their spot. It kind of leaves a lot of fans thinking, well, what the hell? Because by the time we actually get the Real Housewives of New Jersey, will those storylines be played out? Will we even be interested anymore? Because it's going to be months and months later. Why would they do this? Well, we heard the reason that they were doing this is because they wanted to make sure at the end of the day that, you know, Orange County will be able to redeem itself as the flagship franchise. So we believe that they were trying to put it after the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills on a Wednesday time spot in order to see if they can play off of those ratings. Mind you, they're two totally different franchises. And Andy Cohen was asked in an interview, and in this interview, it was interesting. They were like, Andy, why do you think, you know, everyone thinks that Orange County this season is going to be boring? Is it because you haven't teased anything? And he just gave a look like, boring? Who the hell said that? And he said, let me just tell you, we understood the assignment. We delivered. Orange County is amazing. I've already watched the first 2 episodes, and it's going to be incredible. Okay. Andy Cohen also teased that the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion was going to be incredible, but as for part one, I don't think it was incredible at all. But we still have 3 more parts. I don't get that, but we do. So we'll have to just wait and see. Are you guys excited about the Real Housewives of New Jersey season 12 returning whenever it does? And are you believing Andy when it comes to the Real Housewives of Orange County? Mind you, if they come in with low ratings again, I think that this flagship, just like David Yontif said, this might be the end of this franchise, which is really disappointing, but it could be the end of an era. So there's a lot of questions that I have on my mind, but also, what do you think about this Teresa Giudice allegedly stabbing Danielle Staub with a fork? This is pretty serious, so I want to hear your thoughts. And I'm sure I'll ask you guys in Hot Messy Topics tonight, but still comment below and let me know. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. Again, we'll be going live today at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Down with Jason on his channel, Down with Jason, to talk Vanderpump Rules. So that will be a great conversation where I'm sure we'll take some callers and see what the hell you guys think about season 9, because this is a doozy. All right, guys. Well, with that, I hope you have a beautiful rest of your week. Go work, go do whatever you got to do. Just stay safe and don't work too hard. I love you guys. I'll see you soon. Bye.